All right, hello, all of you beautiful spice lords. Alan from MysteryMTG.com. Take a seat. It's been a while, man. How have you been? Christmas is around the corner. My legs hurt. My eyes hurt. I've been packing orders since 3 a.m. And man, I cannot believe 2024 is on the horizon. We're about to come into a new year. It's insane to me. It still feels like 2019. But Christmas and the New Year's, so it's going to be 2024, and I want to take this chance to talk about changes coming to the business, general market things, what's been happening with Wizards and Magic, etc. It's not going to be a long video, but I just want to touch on a lot of different things. First things first, let's talk about 2023. The worst thing we did, and the one thing that has hurt the business beyond anything else in the entire, existence of Mystery MTG was Lorcana. Pre-orders for Lorcana, worst idea I've ever had. Single-handedly, the worst business decision ever, and we would never ever do that again. And it was, to this day, we still get emails about stuff, and we still get emails about Lorcana and this and that, and we've now just wanted to not ever engage in that ever again. So Chapter 2, luckily, we didn't do pre-orders, and we just stayed away from it. And Chapter 1, unfortunately, we did a really weird chronologically based fulfill system for Chapter 1. We got stiffed by the distributor. People didn't want refunds because they were like, I locked in this price. I want this. So anyway, bad idea. Bad idea. When there's a lot of demand for a product, do not do pre-orders, okay? I'm looking at all of you who want to start a game store. Listen to me. Learn from my mistakes. That was a terrible idea. Never do it again, okay? So high points, though. Everything else was good. Metrics, sales, the business itself, regulars, the MCG wholesale subscription, everything else was good. I realized something in 2023 though, and this will kind of touch into 2024, how to run a successful game store, how to run a successful business, okay? So what I learned was you can't just run a game store. You look at Magnolia, they have an alcohol business where they make a lot of money, I'm assuming. And they do really great with TCGs too, but you need that backbone. If you look at Stomping Grounds, which everyone buys product from now, right? It's a boba shop. They're not really an LGS. Someone tells me that they host events. I can't find any sort of event schedule. It's a boba shop. They sell boba. So when you start a game store, don't start a game store. Start a cafe or something or a bar and make it partly a game store. Be smart about it. Think about something that most people buy and then that's high profit margin, and then have that as your base and then do a game store. The way we do it, where the game store is the entire thing and subscription crates and blah, 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 guaranteed minimum value, it's awful. There's no profit margin. You won't make any money. Events are going to make you money, blah, blah, blah. You let people in the door, but if you're just doing events and you're just doing Magic and you're just doing Pokemon, whatever, you're not going to make enough money to have a successful business. And look, as I've gotten older, my opinions have changed greatly. Now that I have a baby and I have a wife, yes, you guys were right and I was wrong. I was totally wrong. You need to have a good salary. You need health insurance. You need dental. You need eye care. You need everything. You need parental leave. Starting your own business is the worst freaking idea ever. And now I'm at this age where I've given up a lot to run the game store, and I'm kicking myself a little bit saying, Alan, you just totally didn't see the writing on the wall with this stuff, which was Magic is declining. You had 7 figures in inventory. And luckily, we kind of got out of a lot of the situations that some other stores couldn't get out of and closed because of. But going into 2024, that kind of guides me into what's happening now, which is the relationship between a retailer and wholesale and the game company. So the relationship between me and a distributor and Wizards of the Coast or Bandai or Konami or Pokemon, everything is changing and it's deteriorating, and people are very hostile, and I think it can be a good thing in some ways. And the reason I say that is now distributors are trying to force Ravnica Remastered on game store owners, and we're all saying no. For the first time in a long time, I'm saying I'm not ordering that product. I'm doing my pre-order, so I'll order what my customers want. And beyond that, we're doing very little to nothing. Wow, we're not pushing for a bigger account? Nope. No, I'm not. I'm done with the rat race. I'm not attempting to be the biggest game store anymore. Honestly, a couple of weeks ago, I had this thought to myself that I don't care about being the biggest anymore. I don't care about having millions of dollars in sealed inventory and doing this and that with this creator and being a part of this crowd. I don't care. I want a game store that is known for quality and for reputation and for being a good actor in the space. We're WPN Premium, and I want to really hone in on that premium experience for our online and in-store customers. It's very difficult. So 2023 was a great year. 2024, we're focusing on, don't care about the metrics as much as we care about the experience, but I'll be honest. And I'll only say this here. I'm not going to say this in any other video or in any other chat or anything. I have seriously considered closing the business for a while now, looking at corporate jobs and stability and the idea of having a 401k offered and healthcare and et cetera, et cetera. Didn't really matter when I wasn't married and didn't have a baby. Now it matters a lot more. But I look at my community and I say, give me one more year and I will try to make this work. Not just for me, but for our employees, for the idea of Mystery MTG. I know to other people it's not going to mean as much, but for me, Mystery MTG was incredibly successful for what it was meant to be, which was the subscription service to replace all those scummy, scammy services. And we did an insane job. We're the only one around now. Everyone else is gone and perished, and all these other companies that were once with us and competitors and competing and running ad campaigns against, they're all gone. There's not a single one left. And even some of the bigger companies that tried to do subscription crate ideas have all left. And the reality of it was we never made any money. And I think people were shocked to realize that. There's this big collector who was like, did what we did and stopped after like 3 months and was like, and he just messaged me and he said, how do you do what you do? And I said, that to us was like Amazon dumping a product at a certain price. It was to get people into the doorway, and it actually worked for us, right? But it was a very specific time that we were able to do that. We got people to the doorway, we made them regular customers, we offered great pricing, and they stayed with us. But if you try to do that business model now with guaranteed minimum value and blah, 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 it's not going to work. Customers think, well, I'm getting these 3 packs, you know, they're worth like $39 at market price, and I paid $32. Our premium packs are still $29.99, I believe, or $32.99. But, you know, regardless, you look at market price and you say, well, they probably got this for $15 or $18. No, because it's older sets. So in 2024, one of the changes coming is that we're still going to be honed in on offering value. But the idea of RNG and super highs and super lows is just not going to be a thing anymore. I don't want people who consider it to be more of a gambling thing. I don't want people who are like, oh, I got terrible stuff. And we've changed that, and we don't really do that anymore, and we don't really get any complaints. People enjoy their subscriptions, people enjoy the product, and as long as it's at a fair price and they get their value back, they're happy. And so we've reduced the RNG and made it to where you're buying something, you'll get about what you paid, and sometimes you'll get a lot more. And that's where we're going to be. It's not going to be the whole buy this crate and you might get Commander Legends 1 or you might get Onslaught. That's what it used to be. And it was fun. It was really fun, but we can't do that anymore. So 2024, guided by caution is the best way to describe that. And I know keeping the store open is going to be such a challenge. The amount of just things I don't like to deal with, the people who treat the space terribly. We had people who would kick my wall with their dirty shoes and it would leave dirt on the wall, and I was just like, and I would look at the camera and see the person who did it and realize we had a great interaction. They were super nice. They bought a couple packs, then they go over to the play space, play some games, drop a drink on the ground, don't tell us, rub their foot on the wall and leave dirt marks, and they just don't care. A lot of people just don't care. The assumption has always been that, you know, this is your business. I'm going to come in, I'm going to play, and you got to handle all this shit. You know, if I spill my drink, you got to clean it up. If I get this dirty, you got to clean it up. But the issue with us is we were doing free entry for everything, for our EDH every Thursday and Sunday, free entry. We were allowing people to use credit to enter into events. So we eventually just had to completely overhaul our in-store systems. There's no more free EDH. There is definitely repercussions for people who are damaging stuff in the store or, you know, kicking the wall or doing anything like that. And some people told me, like we had one guy, and this is going to happen a lot in 2024, I'd imagine. And by the way, I know this video is going to be ranty, but bear with me. We had one guy who said, well, I know you're not, so no more free EDH, and I can't roll my credit into other events. And I'm just probably not going to come back. I love your game store, I love you, and I love your staff, but it's, I'm probably just not going to come back. And I was really frank with this guy because I had seen him for quite a while, and I haven't seen him since, but I had seen him for quite a while, and I just told him, since you've come to the store, we have lost X amount on you, okay? Because you get the free promos, you do the free entry, blah, blah, blah. And I hate to say it, and I love these guys, but if you aren't willing to pay $5 entry to come and play for 10 hours for our EDH Sunday or Thursdays, or even 4 hours, or even 3 hours, and for $5 entry you get a drink and you get a standard pack included in entry, which comes out to $7 at regular prices. So it's a $2 discount on what you would typically buy anyway, right? If you aren't willing to spend $5 for entry, I can't have you. I can't. This isn't, I guess the idea used to be that this is kind of a communal center and I'm helping people out by having it, and that we love everyone and come, if you don't have money, it's fine, come play, come do this, which I still want people to do that. But the numbers don't make sense. Not enough people were buying packs anymore. The whole sealed community had mass exodus away from people buying vintage sealed or buying older sealed packs or whatever. So a lot of the money that came in from people who would carry everyone else on their backs and buy all these singles and buy all these packs has disappeared. And now you have to run the business off of events. You have to run the business off of, not just pre-orders, but just pre-release events, etc. And the guys who used to come in and buy all these different packs and keep buying packs and sell the singles back to and keep buying, they're all gone. They're almost all gone. For us, at least. I don't know about any other game store owner watching this. They're almost all gone now. And so we have to basically say, if you want to use the play space, there has to be some sort of incentive for the store. Because we'd have people who'd come in and use their laptops on our tables, not buy anything, not play a TCG, not play a game, just come in and use our tables as if we were a Starbucks. And I had to put my foot down and say, we're not a Starbucks. We're a WPN premium game store. I want you to play D&D here. I want you to play Magic here. I want to make it affordable. I want to make it fun. If people are willing to go buy a coffee, okay, for $5, and I say, well, instead of doing that, come here and play. I'll give you a drink and I'll give you a pack and come in and play for $5. If that isn't fair to people, then the game store can't exist anymore. And so that's what I'm realizing now for 2024. I have to put my foot down and say, for us to exist, this is the bare minimum, but this is where we ideally should be. So we are going to aim to be a profitable business that is pro-employee, pro-customer, and we've been known as a friendly place to come. And I want to continue to be the friendly place to come, but I don't want to be the store that's walked on and people take advantage of. And I know that's been the case in the past, and I just want to change that, okay? Ultimately, if it doesn't work, if the glory days of Mystery MTG are behind us and all that is left, eventually once these doors close and all that is left are the memories, I'm still a winner. I had some of the best times with you guys ever. And it has been an absolute, I'm trying not to get emotional, it's been an absolute joy. I remember most of you by your first names, the people who interacted with me on live streams and all the pack opening experiences and Spice Arenas. It has just been an incredible ride, years and years. And what started off as, a little side thing to have fun and whatever, and then COVID pushed it even crazier, and then it became an everyday thing, we were streaming and we're doing this in the online store, and then WPN came, and then we started the brick and mortar, blah, blah, blah. Talk about a snowball, right? And so 2024, I guess, if you were to say I'm optimistic, I would say, well, I think the snowball is going to keep rolling. Truthfully, I in an ideal world that would happen, but I don't know if I even want that to happen anymore. I want our beautiful, beautiful community, the small game store, our great online community to continue to be great. And I think the rat race, the whole trying to become the biggest player is just done. It's just done. And if we do, then great. I guess I'm going to have to dedicate another 5 to 10 years to this. And I'm going to have to work 13-hour days forever, right? But if it doesn't happen, man, oh man, do I have stories to tell my son. And I love you guys. I genuinely love you. Once the, things calm down and maybe the business, the brick and mortar, let's say, closes or something, if that ever happened, right? I'd add a lot of you guys as friends on Facebook, and I'd go out and get drinks with you guys. I can't do that now because I'm the owner of the business, and I can't do that with customers typically. But a lot of you are just great friends, and you are my friends. That's the thing. I talk to some of my customers more than I talk to anyone who would consider an IRL friend, right? So that's where we're at. 2024 is it's a year urged with caution. It's a year. I think the foundation of the year is going to be trying to emphasize in-store play and value and being the go-to for events as a brick and mortar, but also for pre-orders and stuff like that. And it's very difficult to compete with people like Magnolia, where they have the alcohol that helps support their business, or people like Stomping Grounds, which is a boba shop. I forget which take this is, so I don't know if we talked about that earlier, but part of the thing that I was mentioning, and I can't tell if it was this take or the last take, but was that to run a successful game store in 2024, the game store can no longer be your main business, right? You have to have something else that is profitable, something else that is high profit margin, and the game store should be a small part of your restaurant or bar or cafe. And we didn't see that, and I mean, we did see it, but I've always just wanted a game store. I didn't want to have to, ruin it by making it a cafe or a bar that I didn't want to do. Now that we want to do a cafe, it's just very expensive, and the market doesn't look very good for it anymore. So I'm not pushing into that unless the deal is very good. And so there we are. That's where we're at. Is changes to the game store, changes to Mystery MTG, changes to Mystery Cards and Games going forward. We're going to be focused on value, but we're no longer going to do the crazy bullshit that we used to do. The Gaia's Cradle raffles and dual land blah blah blah. Well, actually, never say never. I mean, if you guys beg me enough. But I'm going to try to refrain from doing that stuff because none of the stuff was never profitable. It's never profitable. Go back and do the math, right? And I hate thinking about profit, but you just have to sometimes understand that to run a business and sustain it, you can't blow money. You gotta make a living for yourself. You gotta go get that 401k, that healthcare, the eye, the dental, the everything. And if you have a family, if I was still a single guy and it was just me living in my mom's house and whatever, which I still, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm still a neckbeard, but I have more responsibility now. But if I didn't have that responsibility, 2024 would be, we're trying to be the biggest and baddest, and we're doing this and we're doing that. We're going to do these giveaways. We're going to be doing that giveaways. I'm going to be doing it 5 Guys Cradles on TikTok or Twitter. Blah. No, it's not happening anymore. It's not happening. It's just not happening. I'm not, that those days are behind us. We're focused on becoming a premium destination for you to want to order at. And for you to want to come play, for you to want to come travel and come to the store, that's my hope. And if we don't get there, we don't get there. I don't know if the store is going to be here in 2025. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. What happens in the market in 2025, 2025 after 2024, but we'll be here for 2024, I'm pretty sure. WotC has made it difficult. I'll be honest. If we're going to transition into anything, we should talk about WotC. The layoffs make people not want to buy product. The D&D thing make people not want to buy product. The Magic 30th was, if you were to have a graph of sales for most retailers in terms of vintage pack or vintage product or blah, 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 Magic 30th was like a crazy effect on a lot of our businesses. There was a mass exodus of collectors that left the market for sealed vintage product and all this stuff and reserve list. And of course, prices now are not nearly as strong as they once were. The demand is not nearly as strong as it once was, which is crazy because the game is getting more popular. There are more players. And so that's something we're going to have to sort of deal with in 2024, right? So, yeah, it's crazy to think it is going to be 2024 in 10 days. I know we're all getting old, and that's why I'm hoping we start to see more younger Magic players walk in. Because, me and everyone else, I'm starting to get white white hairs in my beard and stuff, and it's a little bit worrying. My son's already getting older, and I just had him 4 months ago, and he's looking older, and he has his own personality now, and I'm like, oh my god, someone stop the clock. It's getting crazy. Things are going by way too fast. Anyway, Alan from Mystery MTG, such a ranty video, but it is what it is. Changes to the Gamestore in 2024, a small reflection of 2023. And let me know what you think below. Some of the things we've talked about. I know it sounds very pessimistic, but I think we were right to be pessimistic before, and it probably is right to be pessimistic going forward. Proceed with caution, okay, is my advice to you in anything you're doing in 2024 or 2025, especially if you're running a game store, you're doing it like that. Hell, oh my God, really proceed with caution, brother. don't run, walk, okay? Please, you are no longer in a bull market, and you will lose a lot of money, okay? Anyway, there we go. Alan from MysteryMTG.com. Hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.